All right, thank you very much. Hello, everybody. It's your good friend Pozzible here, and I'm back in action with another look at another forgotten classic, one of the movies that has been lost in the annals of movie making time. This one has been noted as being a guilty pleasure, and believe me, that's exactly what this is. I think it is. Gene Siskel thought it was. I still remember his review of it back in the day when he was on Siskel and Ebert. He loved this movie, and it's very hard not to like this movie. It's just really fun, really clever, enjoyable. I mean, what is wrong with having a movie like that? A movie where you can literally sit down, relax, let your brain go dead, and enjoy Blind Fury. You know, I think one of the problems people might have had with this, maybe it was a little too silly, but it really wasn't bad. Especially, it was made in 1989. People made these kind of movies. Blind Fury, for those of you who may not know, is based off of Zatoichi 17, also known as Zatoichi Challenge. According to Internet Movie Database, though, Zatoichi 17 is literally translated into Zatoichi Spurting Blood Road. So I thought that was an interesting little trivia bit there. But in Zatoichi, as in Blind Fury, you have our hero, in this case, Nick Parker, who was in Vietnam, got blind, and while he was trying to find his way through the woods unable to see, he gets caught by the local villagers. Now, the local villagers have their warrior slash swordsman who took it upon himself to train Nick in the art of sword mastery. This was one of the beautiful parts of the movie. Okay, in the beginning, you saw his development very briefly, but you saw it. You saw Nick going from a guy who basically was still trying to learn how to use his senses to a guy trying to learn how to use a sword and his senses, and the pitfalls along the way. But eventually he comes back to the States and he wants to connect with his old army buddy. His old army buddy, though, was a gambler, and he gets in trouble with some thugs who want him to make some drugs for him. So it's still 1989, so we're still in the drug wars. Actually, even to this day, we're still in the drug wars. But the point is, they had some very interesting Southern stereotypes as the villains, which made the film even more enjoyable. So they kill his ex-wife. They want to kidnap his son, but they don't get to him. Nick Parker gets to him first, and he's supposed to take his son to see his dad. Similar to Zatoichi Challenge. I actually saw that movie. That one's a little bit slower, but it has some funny elements in it also. In that one, the boy is the son of an artist, and the son can draw. And at one point, Zatoichi wants the son to draw him a picture of this beautiful woman, and so he draws the picture, but he makes sure he makes her ugly. And Zatoichi gets upset about that. It was really hilarious. It was just one of the funny parts. There's a lot going on when it comes to Blind Fury, though. It's a traveling movie where they're being hunted, and the best part about it, though, was the swordplay. Along with the humor and the acting and the very hard work Rutger Hauer put in to making this movie, the swordplay is just outstanding. And if there's anything that also made Blind Fury outstanding, it's the amount of work Rutger Hauer put into making this movie. It was, according to Internet Movie Database, is a very difficult movie for him to make with all the learning how to be blind. That was done extremely well. Because in a movie like this, usually they put contacts in their eyes to simulate the blindness. And I don't know if they did that or not, but it didn't look like it. But Rutger Hauer really pulled it off. You really got the impression that he was this blind man. And there were times when, there's also these moments where the hero is with other people, and you kind of get into his world, where it's like they got to use their other senses to see what's going on. And they made it really cool. Of course, there's a little bit of gambling in this one because Zatoichi was a gambler. But the story is just really compelling. And the acting is top-notch, and the action is top-notch. Especially the final duel. The main bad guy is sick that this blind man with a sword is taking out his guys with guns, so he hires this other guy with a sword, and the final showdown between the two of them is epic. I really enjoyed this movie. I think you will too. So if you haven't seen Blind Fury yet, give it a chance. I think you'll enjoy it. All right, guys, that's it for me for today. We'll see you at the theaters.